Hey, it's Bonsai Hiker. I'm at the Nebo Ridge Trail in southern Indiana in the Hoosier National Forest, and I'm going to do a solo trip. Just heading down the trail. I'm going to find some place to camp, probably down in Brown Hollow. I know there's going to be water down there, and it's pretty accessible. So I'm just going to hike for a while and just really kind of take it easy and just kind of see how things go. I've got some new gear to test out, and it's supposed to rain starting this evening or late afternoon, and then all day tomorrow. So I'm going to test out some rain gear and a new tarp I got, and to see how that all works out. I may spend a good part of the day in my hammock, nestled in the downs. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but just out to kind of relax and take it easy and just have a good time. So we'll see you down the trail. So I've got my old ULA circuit backpack, and that thing's been with me for a lot of years. It's a great pack. Temperature's supposed to drop down to below 30 Saturday night, so I needed to carry a little extra gear, more than what I would carry. Right now it's in the mid-50s. It should get up to about 60 by tomorrow or late afternoon today. Definitely shoulder season here. So anyway, we'll see you down the trail. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced inertia right before a trip. I know for me sometimes it's really hard to get myself moving out of the door. You know, especially on a weekend like this when it's rainy and it's going to get cold. And I have a 3-day weekend. I think, gosh, I could just stay at home, hang out with my family, maybe go do something that I don't normally get to do during the week because I'm working. So every time it seems, if I get past that inertia and actually get out on the trail, I'm instantly glad that I resisted that temptation to just sit there. It's so beautiful even when it's overcast, even when it's raining. The solitude, the peace and quiet, it's all worth it. Not good. So, if you've never been to the Hoosier National Forest before, you're not going to have, for the most part, broad sweeping vistas and a lot of challenging terrain. But what you do get is beautiful woods, rolling hills, relatively easy trail, solitude, peace. It's beautiful, and that's why I keep coming back. It's a great place to come. The piney woods. That's another thing that's really neat about Hoosier National Forest is you have all these hardwoods, oak, hickory, that kind of thing, and then you come across a stand of pine just out on its own, just by itself. I know they were planted there, but still, it's cool. It's like you have a
different kind of forest there for a while. It's always a lot more peaceful with the pine needles underfoot. There's a couple of woodpeckers over there just giving each other heck. I'd try to zoom in, but they're far enough away, there's no way to come out on the video. So it's just after 1. Weather's still cool, but it's definitely starting to get a little damp in the air. I'm feeling a little bit of a mist. So the rain might be coming in a little bit quicker than they had suggested it might. So I'm still probably, a mile maybe from campsite. I've just been taking it easy, stopping to stretch a lot. I'm definitely not trying to push any big miles or any speed records today, but I think I am going to try to push it a little faster to get to camp before the rain comes in. I'll make for a little bit more pleasant camp tonight. Wow, so check this out. See that tree right over here? I'm going to turn this around so you can see it better, but that whole side of that tree just split off. It's got to be lightning. I don't know what else would do that. I'll turn it around here. So there's where it starts. The tree looks fine the rest of the way up. I don't see any marks, but you get right down to in here, and that's where it started to split off. Just right down the side. Looks like it just exploded there. That whole piece comes right along here. Looks like there's another piece here. Got blown off. Look at that shard. It's got driven into the ground. Wild. So this part of the trail parallels the road, and that's where I am right now, if you can't tell. So anyway, it's going to parallel the trail for a little while, and then it turns away from it. I'm actually not going to keep following it. I'm going to dive down into a little draw down into Brown Hollow, and that's where I'm going to set up camp tonight. So this is kind of a confusing point here. I just came back down from this direction here. That's the direction the main trail goes, and then it goes just straight on through down that way. Okay, so I'm going northbound on this trail. It actually shows it on the USGS quad, but you have to really be paying attention to what the track is showing. When you're coming northbound, it's easy to miss the turnoff because it literally just goes right back down this direction. Okay, So here's where I came from, and you just turn around and you parallel just a few feet lower in elevation down that way. And that leads you back to the road and then down a little spur into a draw that leads to Brown Hollow. Hope that makes sense. So that's the trail that you need to take, and the trail you came in on is right up here. It's so easy to miss. You can't really even see this trail from up there. It's kind of hidden when you're walking on it. And it's not as well used, so the leaves kind of cover it. Of course, you get more of this kind of scenery. The whole trail is like. We're in Brown Hollow. Wow, I just came across that. I'm sure you can tell from the algae that is slicker than snot. I almost went in a couple of times. I'm going to put the phone away again so I can walk the rest of the way without falling. Here's the location of the spring Hoosier hang. Hoosier hammock forms hang. Some of you will recognize this. The fire ring. Some more trees down. Otherwise, she looks just about like she always does. Great spot for a hang. Let's see, there's been a lot of blowdowns. We've had a lot of big storms come through lately. And it has really taken its toll on this place. So, I'm going to put down the phone here until I can get across this mess. So we're getting close to where I'm going to camp for the night. This Brown Hollow is kind of a Y shape, upside down Y if you're looking at a map with the north up. Anyway, I'm going to camp on the northward facing part of the Y, and be down those pines down that direction. Beautiful down there. This is where I'm going to camp. Look at all that. This is great. And there's another patch right there. On down the hill. River's right down there. Yeah, it's going to be a good spot. Okay, I'm going to pick a couple of trees and get set up. Well, I got set up camp. I did not set up in the daffodils. There weren't any trees that were just right, and there were a lot of widowmakers around. I hiked on a little bit farther just to see what else might be there, and it's beautiful back there. Lots of pines and nice stream running through there. It was gorgeous, but I couldn't find anything that was just right. And in the end, I just decided to come back to the hang site for the spring hang. So this is back where Hammock Forum group hangs out. I knew there's going to be a lot of good spots back here. It's a great place to hang. There's a lot of options, and the ground's nice and level. And I thought I would show you my hammock setup. A homemade hammock that I made about a year ago out of Dutch's Hexon. It's got a load rating of 350 pounds, and so I trust it pretty well. It's pretty strong. It also keeps its shape pretty well. It's just a simple gathered end. That's all it is. It's 11 feet long. Just the width of the fabric. I hemmed both sides and gathered the ends, and that was it. I just finished it with a continuous loop. And the continuous loop is a am steel, 7/64, whatever size it is. And this is Dynaglide. Let's see what's underneath. This is Two Questions and Zipper Queen underquilt protector. This is made of Dutch's Argon 90, I think, and it's very handy. It's nice to keep the wind off of the bottom of the hammock. Keeps the wind from stealing the warmth of the underquilt. I love it. It works great. It's got these little barrel locks where you can tighten up the sides and then push that barrel lock down. That'll hold it there, which basically all that does is bring up the sides so it covers more. This is my hammock gear Palace Dyneema tarp. I'll unfurl it here in a little while and show you that, but I've got Dutch's mesh sleeve. Okay, so I've got my underquilt hung up. This is a hammock gear, an old hammock gear, Phoenix, 20 degree. It's the old style, rectangular style. I've had that for a long time. It's nice and light, and it's very warm. So this is an Underground Quilts custom flight jacket, I think is what they call it. I've had this for a long time too. It's custom length and size. I got it off of Hammock Forum's gear forum, and it's a great quilt. Okay, so this is my tarp. It's a Dyneema tarp made by Hammock Gear. It's the 12-foot Ridgeline Palace. I was very fortunate to pick this up on eBay. Got a great deal on it. And so far I really like it, but I haven't actually had it out in a storm yet, so I'm waiting to see. I like the length here. It's longer by this much than their standard tarp with the doors. Okay, so they've just added about a foot on the width there. So the width, I believe, is 10 feet 3 inches, something like that. 10 feet 2, 10 feet 3. So it's a very wide tarp, which I really like. but it only weighs about an ounce more than the other tarp, which is just terrific. It's great. So I'll gladly accept that weight penalty. This comes with doors. I have them tied back with shock cord here and some mitten hooks. So that just holds them back out of the way, gives me a place to hang socks, that kind of thing. I can also, if I want to, unhook that and hook it to the other side and close the doors on the end. So I can totally enclose this tarp if I need to. So yeah, it's great. 12-foot ridge line, over 10 foot wide for the total weight, including the mesh sleeve and the ridge line and all the tie outs, is 12.3 ounces. So everything's set up. We've got pack hanging back here somewhere. There it is. And I've got everything under the tarp. So that if it starts raining, then I'm protected, because I'm going to take a nap. And I'm going to get up and make dinner and go back to bed. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to come out here. So I'm making dinner now, and it's started to rain. So you can probably hear that on the tarp. So it's here, but I'm all underneath the tarp and dry, and everything's secured down, so that's fine with me. It'll just put me to sleep. So I'm just making dinner here. I've got oriental rice sides in here, reheating. And I'm going to put in some ginger soy chicken creations. And just snacking on some wasabi peas. So, anyway, I don't know that I'm going to film a whole lot more tonight, so I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's raining still. I'm going to have some breakfast and then pack up and get on the trail. So, planning on having some coffee here in a few minutes, but also some oatmeal. So, probably also an energy bar or something. The night was great. I went right to sleep. It was sprinkling a little bit when I went to sleep, and it rained off and on, sometimes heavy through the night, but everything stayed dry. Everything was great. Tarp worked great. There's plenty of room under here. I'm glad I got the bigger tarp. I had one clap of lightning, thunder, this morning. That's kind of what made me decide to go ahead and get up. But that was it. Really no more lightning. I hear little rolls of thunder every once in a while, but yeah, pretty good night. Stayed warm enough. Okay, so some rain just blew in, and it stopped again already, right after I got on my rain gear. Of course, that's how it always seems to work. So, I wanted to test this new gear. I've had the Z-Pax rain skirt for a while, and I've tried it. It seems to work okay, but I haven't tried it a lot. So I'm interested to see today how it does. But this is relatively new outdoor research helium 2 that everybody seems to like. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The hood fits nice. Of course, I have it open right now to try to ventilate. There's no pit zips, which kind of worries me. I guess the main thing I'm hoping to learn with this hike here in the rain is, am I going to get more wet on the outside or more wet on the inside? So I usually am kind of a hard charging hiker, and so I'm trying to slow down a little bit here and try to generate less sweat and see what that does. It would probably be good for my knees as well. After about 6 miles of hard hiking, my knees start to get to me a little bit, so it's probably good for me to slow down a little bit. Not as young as I used to be. So there's the gate to the Nebo Ridge Trail to separate it from Combs Road. Here's the benchmark. That's Combs Road going north. And this is Combs Road going south. If you want to go to Browning Hill, where the Stonehenge is, you need to take this trail and follow that right on through the back. I, on the other hand, am not going to Browning Hill. I'm going to walk down Combs Road a little ways. I took a wrong turn and headed down this way looking for Browning Hill, and it took a surprising amount of downhill to realize that I wasn't going up to Browning Hill. Anyway, when I decided to turn around, there was a really nice grove of pines there that I thought would be a really good campsite. And I just want to go visit it again and see if I was remembering correctly. So, anyway, that's where I'm headed. Hopefully the hiking will be a little bit less muddy, because the trails have been really muddy so far. Although, it's not going to be smooth. Take a look at that. Wow, I bet that made a heck of a sound when it came down. It's probably a 3-foot diameter trunk at the base. That was a very large tree that took out another tree. Several trees. Alright, I'm going to have to figure out how to get around that. Looks like maybe go down over across the creek and up and around. Looks like that's where the trail goes. So I'm already at the pine tree grove. It didn't take very long to get to. Thinking it was farther than that. It's beautiful. So I think I'm going to find a spot to string up my tarp and my hammock and have some lunch. How's it going? So this is lunch. Chef's cut jerky and a bobo bar. Coconut. Oh, that's so good. They're both so good. Ugh. So I didn't set up my hammock. I just decided it wasn't worth it. I'm just hanging out here on the ground. I've got this new Dyneema fiber jerry chair that is actually 6 feet long. I've got it folded up a little bit just so my feet don't get it all muddy, because I didn't take off my hiking shoes. I'm just hanging out here and have a little lunch, relax for a little bit, and get hiking again. I'll probably stop somewhere on the Nebo Ridge trail southbound. There's not going to be any water wherever I stop because it's all on ridges. It's all a ridge walk. So I grabbed some more water and I'm treating it right now. So I'm just going to carry an extra 2 liters of water. That'll make life a lot easier. Won't make the hiking much easier, but it'll make life easier, and I can just set up camp wherever, and I'll probably get a little bit closer to the car, so it's a shorter walk out tomorrow morning. So, yeah, just hanging out, enjoying the day. Still raining. I'm glad I put up the tarp. So, I just took down the tarp, and it started to pour. This is great. I got everything packed up when it was not raining, and now it is, so I'm going to put the phone away and start hiking. Okay, so I'm back in my car. That rain that came in, well, it kept raining, and then it rained harder, and then it rained harder, and then it rained even harder. And then the fog came in, so thick I could barely see where I was going. And then the wind came in, which was incredibly strong, and the temperature dropped at least 10 degrees. That wind was biting cold, and that lasted for a while. And then it stopped raining, and then the sun came out, which was great, until it started raining again shortly after. And then it stopped raining, and then it rained again, and then it stopped raining, and then it started raining hard again. And it's been raining hard since, all the way till I got back to my car. It's slacked off a little bit now. So I thought at several points I would just stop and set up camp somewhere, and several reasons kept me from doing that. Number one, I have a feeling everything in my bag is soaked. I don't know for sure. I'm going to check when I get home. But if it is, it's going to get uncomfortable because it's supposed to get down in the 20s tonight. So, that, and I'm also worried about safety. I've been hearing trees coming down all around me all day. So I'm worried about that. There's some places where it might be difficult to get home, where the water tends to cross the road, and with all this rain, I'm kind of worried about getting home. That and a cheeseburger's on my mind. So that's why I'm ending this trip. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. So turns out it was a very good idea for me to get out of there when I could.
there were two spots that I had to slow way down and ease through a bunch of water that was across the road. And the area that I was really worried about that would have made me try to find some kind of detour, the floodwaters hadn't gotten there yet, but they were close. There was a lot of places where that water was up to the road and almost ready to come over. So yeah, I think it was a good idea to get out. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.